Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On these happy occasions, I'm Yola. I want to tell you about a movie. I think this movie is worth for watching all of you, cause of recommending to watch in order to model a lot of good things. The film title is The Miracle Worker, starring Haley Kate Eisen and directed by Nadia Tas. This film depicts the struggle of Annie Sullivan, played by Alison Elliott, in teaching Helen's manners and understanding words. Well, let's to find out who the cast is in the movie. There are Patty Duke as Helen Keller and Annie Bancroft as Annie Sullivan. After that, Victoria Jory as Captain Arthur Kellers, and Andrew Prince as James Kellers, and the last Kathleen Comics as Aunt Evelyn. Okay, and this orientations movie is the first part of the film tries to describe the conditions of Helen, who is blind and deaf, by showing Helen walking, fumbling, and trying to touch the mouth of one of her slaves named Percy. In addition, Helen also several times bumped into objects in front of her when walking. Also tells the conditions of the Keller family, consisting of mothers, Helen's older brothers James, Helen's baby sister, and Evelyn's aunt. In the movie, Helen's fathers and Helen's older brothers James are depicted often fighting. Helen's mother was so focused on Helen that she rarely made time for Helen's sisters. Since the problem that occurred in Helen's family, Helen's aunt suggests Helen's parents to write a letter to Dr. Chesolms. Unfortunately, Dr. Johnson could next help Helen to suggest Helen to contact Alexander Graham Bell. Then, Bell advised Helen's parents to contact the Perkins Institute for the Blind. The principal of the Perkins Institute for the Blind asked Annie Sullivan to be Helen's instructor. The problem is Helen's mother had not taught to recognize language, so as soon as Annie arrived at the Keller's house, Annie tried to spell the word into Helen's hand. Secondly, Helen's fathers often tolerate Helen's behaviors as long as Helen didn't make a fuss. And the last, Helen's undisciplined and aggressive behaviors was maintained because Helen's mother and father tend to feel angry for Helen's, and so does not punish her. And for the climax is when the principal of the Perkins Institute for the Blind asked Annie Sullivan to be Helen's instructor. That's when the relationships between Annie and Helen begins, with Annie trying to spell words into Helen's hand. The first word Annie thought was doll. And then for anticlimax is Annie also asked the Keller family's permissions for Helen to stay alone with her while in the garden house. While in the garden house, Annie taught Helen the word and succeeded in changing Helen's behaviors. Unfortunately, before Helen understands the word represents something, Helen is asked to return home. words. Yet, when Helen returned home, Helen's behaviors returned to normal. And then for the resolutions is when Anis was pouring water from the pump while writing the word water on Helen's palms. That's when a miracle happened. Helen realized the idea of waters, then kept asking Annie the names of the objects around her. Also, the scenes where Helen kisses Annie on the cheek and Annie replies with sign language, "I love Helen." And for the moral value is the moral values from this movie is describes how to be strong as a teachers and how overcome our own disability and to learn, grow and become somebody new. Human never stop learning until the day they die. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.